just going to leave a little dead air here. Hang on.
No, they'll never suspect. Shh.
I don't want them to know that we're live yet. Shh.
Oh, they don't know that.
They'll be like, what's going on? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey of the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Now with COVID, that's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
He's already had the COVID, so we're a perfect COVID couple.
It's true. It's just a couple of coof survivors.
But I know we got a couple of things to do, but before anything else, can I just say, fuck the Chinese government. Y'all ruined my weekend, and I hope nothing but bad shit happens to you for the rest of your lives. Jack, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. Also, not sad.
Right.
Doing normal. I'm sorry you're sick, but
I'll live. No big deal.
Don't know what to say otherwise.
Sucks. Let's get our donations because some of you guys are very kind and hit us up when we're not here. Jack, you had a couple you needed to do?
Yeah, from 3 days ago. Thank you, Dixie Rose, for the feminist donation with the private message. It was very kind of you to say what you did, and I really, really appreciate it. And Disgruntled Technician, also with a feminist donation 2 days ago. From the debate stream, where he quoted me saying, "Be a cold day in hell before I recognize Missouri." Hey, fuck off, Jack. You're from Ohio. I think you said that. If not, fuck whatever state you're from, lol. Proud Missourian. That's a Grandpa Simpson quote. I don't remember the episode, but I think it's the same one where he was talking about tying a turnip to his belt buckle.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it was a style at the time. But yeah, that's funny. I did not know you were from Missouri.
I'd also like to thank Dixie Rose for the feminist donation with a private message. Very, very kind. Hang on, I have things going off in my ear. But thank you, Dixie Rose. Very kind of you. Nuts, thank you so much for becoming a member for another month. That is month number 6. You are a sweetheart.
Yay.
She got an award on Twitch for being a great moderator, which she deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying. Alex Jones, thank you so much, who just sent me this, who says, "I'll eat your ass." We don't touch the monkey butt, Alex, but I appreciate it. And Dark Resurrect, thanks so much for that feminist $12. So the feds visited Nashville, had Patriot Front come hanging "One Nation Against Invasion" banners all over the place. It sounds like the feds. They get bored.
Yeah, it's not like they have budgets they have to spend all the money, or they don't get that much next year. So they're just trying to earn their keep.
Look, there's only so much CP they can look at before they got to go do something else, right?
That's true.
Tansau, happy birthday to you yesterday. This one goes out to you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tansau. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a good one. I really, really do. Happy birthday.
Indeed.
Snub, thank you. PSA Stitch has more faith than I, but Fahid even saying that finally a Middle Eastern conflict we can benefit from. Yeah, we'll get into it's Fareed, right? Fareed Kawasaki. I forget his last name, from CNN. He's up there in the description or in the title, whether you guys realize it or not. There's a lot of stuff that happened, Jack, and I want to get into it all. But first, I want to tell you about my COVID discovery. So I wasn't going to go to the doctor. I was sick. I don't give a shit. You know how I am, right? And the only reason I went is actually because my one tooth that still needs fixed, because dentists are expensive, it got infected again. And my face started to swell, and it worried my wife. All right, fuck it, I'll go to a doctor. And so I call up my doctor. I'm like, okay, I have an abscess tooth. I know what this is. And she's like, yeah, we can't get you until January. I said, I also need to tell you, because I know you guys asked this, that I've been exposed to COVID. And she's like, oh, well, how do you feel here? And then she goes, you need to see a doctor within 4 hours. Like, that's oddly specific. But okay. And she goes, we can't get you until January. Awesome. Seal, thanks so much for becoming a member for another month. That is 6 months for you as well. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I go to the emergency room. I go in there. Apparently, I looked a lot worse than I felt. I didn't feel good, Jack. This is still, my rib was still killing me.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them what's going on. My doctor said to come in. All right. They said, sit right over there. They didn't send me to the waiting room. They kept me right in the entranceway away from people. And as I'm sitting there, this woman comes in holding a baby. Well, not a baby. The kid's probably 4, maybe 5. This little boy. And she says to the admitting nurse, he keeps having these nosebleeds, and I just need him to see a doctor. And the admitting nurse goes, what's his name? And she tells him the name. And the admitting nurse goes, what's his middle name? Which is something they asked me too, which they've never done before. I guess it's a new part of their procedure. And
okay.
The mom looks at him and goes, really? And she goes, yeah, I need his middle name. And she goes, well, fuck this shit, and marched out.
That's weird.
You took your child to the emergency room and you left because they asked his middle fucking name?
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
Either you're a bad mom because you're looking for sympathy with a sick child, or you're a bad mom because you took a sick child home over his fucking middle name.
Well, maybe she took him home because she's a bad mom who was attention seeking and has a sick child.
I mean, it's possible. How embarrassing is the kid's middle name? Beats the shit out of me, man. I have no fucking idea what her problem was. I was so shocked. Look, I've stormed out of doctor's offices before, but never with a sick child. I will put up with a lot of shit for a sick child. Rotten Corpse, thank you. If you'd like to get rid of the heart in chat, I have a post on Twitter about how to do it. Otherwise, hope you get over this soon. Thank you, Rotten Corpse. I know how to do it. You just have to do it every fucking show, and I'm not that dedicated. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
It really is. It's not a setting that you can just turn off permanently.
No, of course not. That's too easy. YouTube. They think like technicians, or engineers rather. I'm sorry, I was looking at technician in the chat. Nothing personal, dude. They think like engineers. Yeah. They think it's practical, so it's a perfect thing for it. But you can't just shut it off.
If you're setting up and using, say, like OBS or some other encoder, you end up going to the screen you have to do it in anyway. I don't do it that way. Since we're doing it through StreamYards, that's all back-end shit we don't do. But I have turned it off occasionally. It's a pain in the ass. And
it's easier to do stuff on StreamYards than it is on YouTube. YouTube is very overly complicated for no reason.
Could you let Monkey know that wasn't the link oh shit, it must have moved as I did it. Sorry.
It's Evolved Potato's birthday.
Oh, cool. Evolved Potato, this one is for you. Before we get to it, thank you for all your support over the years. You are you've been with us a long time, and thank you.
Absolutely.
Ron Corpse, Evolved Potato. This one's for you.
All of you are awesome.
You're all awesome. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Rotten Dear Evolved Potato.
Happy birthday
to you. I fucked that up. I said rotten potato at some point.
I know. I was thinking, man, I'm going to screw this up because I already screwed it up.
No, I fucked it up.
You fucked it up. Evolved Potato, happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. I really, really do.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday. Sorry I fucked up your song. I don't know what's going on with me today. I am misreading things. I'm saying the wrong names. And I'm not even the one that's sick.
Did you see Tim Pool talk about Hunter incident like it was 2 buildings down from Tim Cass? No. We'll get to the Hunter shit in a little while.
Yeah. Let me grab at these here.
Sure.
Thank you, Rotten Corpse. Says, hi, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Apparently, I'm illiterate and kind of retarded, so 50-50 on that one. But thank you. And thank you, Dark Resurrect, for the feminist donation. In Tard news, not just me, did you see the House bill proposed the ban on assault weapons, suppressors, and magazine size restrictions? I heard something about that, but didn't have time to look into it. Honestly, I haven't had a lot of free time lately, but I'm sure it's going to be extra special retarded because the government really wants to grab guns lately.
I've had tons of free time, but just reading has not been something I've been able to concentrate on. So I didn't even see a headline on that one. I'll have to check that out. Corey, thank you so much. Monk, hang on one second. That's going to be a recurring theme. Corey, thank you so much. Monk, I missed you so much I had to resort to watching your old videos. Well, I appreciate the views, and I really am sorry I wasn't here, guys. I almost set up a stream last night. No, that's not true. I did set up a stream last night. I just never published it because I was there, Jack. I can do this. And as I'm setting it up, I can't fucking do this.
Yeah, when I was getting over COVID, I streamed for half an hour, and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I feel like shit. Well, so I get it, man.
I told you offline. I slept the first couple of days of this. Can I get the? Well, let me go back. So I get into the ER. They only had me sitting out front for a couple of seconds. They call me in. They put me in a room, and they're like, "Tell me what's wrong." And I told them, and I said, "My doctor says I had to be here within 4 hours." And they went, "Why?" And they started badgering me for why the doctor said that. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I told you the same thing I told them. They told me to come here, so now I'm here. And then they jammed a whole bunch of shit in my nose and throat and came back 2 hours later and said, "You have COVID." I'm like, awesome. And since then, my phone keeps blowing up because apparently they told the health department, and I don't give a fuck about the health department, but they want me to fill out some survey and then kiss my whole ass. I don't go anywhere. I'm not giving anybody COVID. Fuck off.
Yeah, you're the worst patient zero ever. They're gonna have a hell of a time linking you to anything.
Yeah.
Look, I don't really leave the house.
But I got my antibiotics, and that's all better. But the first couple of days, I slept a lot. And since then, I haven't slept much at all. Friday and Saturday, I slept a ton. Sunday and Monday, and up till now, I've had a total about 10 hours of sleep in that 2.5 days. Total.
Wow.
That's not a lot of sleep, and I'm just miserable. And the miserable part, Jack, is not even how I feel. Yeah, I can deal with that. And I got the gabapentin, which whoever invented that shit deserves a Nobel Prize, because a lot of the pains and stuff, unless I get out of sync with my medicine, it's all right. I can live. But just bored out of my fucking mind, dude.
Yeah. Audiobooks are your new best friend, dude.
I watched a bunch of shit I couldn't even tell you because I didn't care about it. I watched a lot of Cold Case Files.
Oh yeah, nice.
They have those here on YouTube. A&E has their channel where they have whole seasons of the shit. So I was just binge watching that. I had Arc open on my other screen, and I did not much with it for most of the time.
Yeah, I had a hell of a time staying focused.
Yes.
That's why I just slept through everything as much as possible.
My taste, I didn't lose all my taste, Jack. Instead, I got this weird thing where everything tastes kind of burnt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine made everything taste very flat, like the mono taste. And until like the first time I actually got to go out, and I had an egg and bacon sandwich from Wendy's, and it was the eggiest egg I've ever had. It was fucking amazing. Mind-blowingly delicious egg.
The only two things I can still taste that are pretty decent is apple juice, which I'm not a huge drinker of because I over drink it and make myself sick on it.
Oh.
And V8.
Ew.
Oh, I love V8, man.
Ugh.
Every so often I get into a just a V8 kick, and we were out at a restaurant somewhere. I'm like, "Do you guys have V8?" And the lady said to me, "I don't think so." And she goes and checks, and she comes back. She goes, "No, the closest thing we have is Bloody Mary mix." I'm like, "Oh, well, fuck it. That's tomato. We bring it to me." That shit was nasty, and I hate that woman for it. Like, what the fuck is it? I like just straight tomato juice, but I don't know what they do in Bloody Mary mix. I understand why you got to be drunk to drink it.
Yeah.
That shit's gross.
I've never liked the concoction, whatever. I think that's menstrual blood. I'm not sure.
V8's not so bad. I love V8, man. Seriously, I will drink the shit out of that.
I hate that crap. The V8 Splash, where it tastes like, fruit.
Oh yeah, the kids love that stuff.
Yeah, that like the mango one, and that stuff's great. But the regular V8, no, I don't know what they do to that crap, but it's fucking gross.
No, I love that stuff, man. It's tangy and tomatoey and nom. Oh. Dr. Anthony Fauci to science, thank you so much. See, if you really had the jab, you would have been spared. Oh shit, Rand's coming, gotta go. I don't know who that really is, but that one's funny. And be careful making me laugh.
Thank you, Alex Jones. I'll eat your ass. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Don't lick the butt. It's nasty, man. It's nasty.
That's how you get pink eye.
That's how you get COVID. Anyway, so lots has happened, Jack. A lot of stuff has been going on.
Been a real crazy couple of days.
Fuck. Which one do I want to talk about first? Because all three of the ones in the are interesting to me for different reasons. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I saw Godzilla -1 today.
Oh, how'd you like it? I've heard good things.
Oh, it was awesome. It was so much fun. It was a disaster movie with a giant monster in it.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Critical Drinker, and most of the time me and him are lined up when it comes to movies, and he had great things to say about it. His only critique is he said the second act kind of dragged a little bit. But other
oh, you're cutting in and out, dude. Wow. Shit. What?
Can you hear me
now?
Are
you back? Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm on the AT&T.
Is Steam downloading?
Steam is off. I turned it off.
It's what you say. But it did turn itself back on because I know Steam and it'll do that.
Nope, it's off. I only have one page open and it's Twitter, so nothing. Hang on. Let's try switching to the Starlink, see if it'll be better for us tonight. I'll be right.
All right. Well, he's gone. What you guys been up to? What you getting him for Christmas? He's having issues like RoboCop. Like, share, subscribe. What?
There you are. Okay. I was just waiting to hear something, so I knew I was back. I don't fucking know. Welcome to Monkey's Internet.
Yeah. No, I had a great
internet
time.
Has COVID too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I rule nothing out, quite frankly, at this point. So, but I believe it was Retro that gave me money to go see it. And I put that money aside, and I was like, I am actually going to go do something fun instead of the usual depressing shit that I got to do all the time. And I finally had the chance today. I had to go up to Detroit to take my sister to the airport. So I did that, dropped her off. And then on the way back, I was like, you know what? I know there's a theater around here that's got Godzilla.
Awesome.
So I stopped on my way back and I watched Godzilla. And it was fucking awesome.
Real quick, Supreme says there have been too many Steam sales. Stop it, Gabe. My wallet is sore. There have been some great Steam sales. If you guys like video games, this is the time of year. Should have the Christmas sale going on here soon too. They just had the autumn sale. But most of the games that I've ever wanted, I have by now, and it's just new ones that come out that I need to get now and then.
Oh,
yeah, because I had that same problem for a long time. Supreme. Steam sales are evil. No, but what I was saying when I broke up is the Critical Drinker. He gave it a very, very good review. Said it's the best movie he's seen this year, and that his only complaint was that the second act, the middle of the movie, was a little slow. The pacing was a little off, he said.
That was the disaster film part. Because it focused mostly on this one family, or a family unit, this guy and his lady friend and a kid. It really kind of centered around them, but it was right at the end of the war through shortly after the war. So it was just sort of like Tokyo starting to rebuild, and a new disaster comes, and it's in the form of Godzilla. But I thought it was very well done. I was really impressed with it. For a budget of 15 million,
yeah,
that's fucking amazing. It's already grossed 50 million, so whatever their advertising budget is, they've already made that back. I'm pretty sure it's gone up way beyond that too.
Just looking at the special effects that they did, Drinker does say there's a couple where you can tell, okay, low budget, but for the most part, not real bad. And what you see in the trailers and stuff, there's no way Hollywood makes that for 15 million.
Fuck no.
That's like easily a $200 million movie right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the director also was credited with a lot of the VFX. So maybe they did a lot of it in-house, like on their own time, but it was really good. And there's one scene where Godzilla is walking through Tokyo that you could tell that was obviously like insert CGI there, but it also looked very similar to a scene from one of the really old movies. And I thought it was a great homage because, man, I just thought there's a dude in a suit.
Pyrus says the director said he wishes the budget was as high as 15 million. I have seen that he said that. I don't know where they got the budget number from, but this is a critique of Hollywood that they rely so much on special effects and stuff. And Hollywood makes some excellent special effects.
Yeah.
And they use it in place of a good story. A lot of times, practical effects, which is what a lot of that movie, from what I've seen, that's just practical effects. A lot of times, those look better, they're cheaper, and they force you to actually do something story-wise because you're not just wasting your money because you can.
Yeah.
This has to have a meaning to it. We don't have much money to do this.
And I'm not opposed to low budget films. They could be done really, really well, and this proves it. I mean, Blair Witch kind of proved that for everybody.
Sure.
That was made on literally a shoestring budget, especially by Hollywood standards. But this movie did a great job for what was clearly a limited budget and resources. So I was really impressed with that.
Pyrus, that's something that Critical Drinker said too. He said that -1 did something Godzilla movies fail at, making me care about the characters. Yeah, watching like when we watched Godzilla versus King Kong, I didn't care at all about the characters.
No, I don't give a fuck about the humans. I want to see giant monsters beat the shit out of each other.
Show the kaiju beating the fuck out of each other and breaking shit. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, and this movie, I think, actually worked well on both sides because Godzilla does a lot of destruction, but the movie is more about like fighting a force of nature. You know, there's just some events that are going to happen to you that you have zero control over, and it's how you cope with them. The main character has PTSD from the war, so he's trying to cope with that and his failings from not doing certain things that he was supposed to do, and you know that emotional struggle is really the crux of the movie, and it's really well done. I thought it was less heavy-handed with some of the, because there's some critiques obviously about Japanese culture in there by Japanese people, but it was less heavy-handed than Shin Godzilla. So I would absolutely recommend it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, as we talked about, I mean, I'm not a big person who likes to read movies, but that's one that it's on my list to do.
Yeah,
I've heard so much good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a fun film, and it was definitely an interesting take because it's kind of a redo of the original one, the 1954 movie, not the Raymond Burr one, but the real one. But it's a different reimagining of it. I think it worked really, really well. And they set it up for, potential other things. So I was really shocked by it. I'm really excited by what they did there. And I would definitely pick this up on home video. Let me grab a couple here. Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy. Hey, Mr. Jones, you don't have to eat my ass. Come to the other side. I need to pee again. Don't forget the go live button first. Oh my.
People had such a freak out over him peeing on stream. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah,
they like I have to go pee.
I haven't watched it, but there was the big Alex Jones is back, and they have this space that has Elon and Alex and Ramaswamy's there.
Yeah, I saw that it happened. I just didn't.
Apparently, during it, at some point, he went pee.
Did people hear him pee?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I don't really give a shit. I mean, my porn collection is way freakier than anything he would have done. So
it did lead to one of the best jokes I've seen in a while. Somebody I follow on Twitter, somebody called Ramaswamy a psycho, and she said that's not true. The psycho has a silent P.
That explains that. Okay.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Learn to use the mute button, Vivek. Thank you, Evolved Potato. This type of thing reminds me of the new Five Nights at Freddy movie. It had a budget of $20 million. It made nearly $300 million at the box office. Smaller budgets usually get better movies. Yeah. A lot of low budget films do really well and at least make their money back. And if Hollywood was smart, they'd invest smaller amounts in movies that are going to probably make less money, but they're going to make their money back.
The problem with Hollywood right now is even the small budget movies they make are so heavy handed in their bullshit narrative. Snubber, thank you. Piers Morgan interviewed Dankula about Jones. Yeah, we'll get to that too. But we will get to all this stuff real fast. All right, so watch the movie, guys, if you get a chance. And like I said, I'll be watching it when it comes to probably Amazon when it comes out that way.
Yeah.
But I've heard really great things. And as Jack just said, he approves as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Also, Willy's Wonderland. If you haven't seen that, Nick Cage in a better version of Five Nights at Freddy's. Although I did hear Five Nights at Freddy's was pretty good, but I just am tired of hearing about it from people that are way too old to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's. Like the premise is interesting, but I think Willy's Wonderland did it a little better. Sorry.
Just real quick, from what I've heard of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I haven't watched it, it's one of the problems they have with video game movies where they insert this whole side shit that's not really part of the lore because they have to. It's a pretty flimsy premise, and in trying to turn that into a full movie, but they didn't break it so bad that it's like the original Mario Brothers movie.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to fuck up the general premise of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, and so the fans of it went out and watched it, and Hollywood, there's a ton of this shit, and they didn't break the overall premise enough that the fans got mad at it. Instead, they're like, "This is cool to see." You guys could do that if you weren't fucking retarded.
Yeah, like Five Nights at Freddy's, the game is aimed at younger people as like a survival horror kind of thing for like middle school and high school kids. Mostly middle school, from what I could tell. And it works fine for that, but I'm a little beyond that age demographic, and the general premise is good. I just think Willy's Wonderland did a little better. Also, thank you, Devil Fruit Zero. Oh no, it's Godzilla!
It's Godzilla.
He spelled it that way too. Hi Jack, I miss you and Monkey being on at night. China is asshole. Yeah, China is asshole, and they kept us from you. So yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
And thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. I found the actual bills from February of this year, and it states, and I quote, to regulate assault weapons to ensure that the right to keep and bear arms is not unlimited and for other purposes. What the actual fuck? That does not surprise me. I heard something about the ATF trying to sneak some shit in. So get ready for a lot of Second Amendment stuff, guys.
Rick asks, there's a game. If you're talking about Five Nights at Freddy, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. It's been around for like more than a decade.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about it. I think it was when they were making the second one. I've still never played them. It's not really my kind of thing. Devil Fruit, thank you so much. Hey, Monk, get better soon. Did you see Jane Goodall, Messenger of Hope, wishes she could kill people to save the environment? Oh, that's depressing. Without paying as if it makes murder better. I hadn't. I have respect for that woman for going and living with Razorback gorillas because they could rip that woman to shreds.
Oh, yeah.
Gorillas got retard strength, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Except for smarter.
I have a lot of respect for her courage in doing that, but I don't really pay attention to her politics and stuff. She's an environmentalist, so something like that doesn't shock me. You know, one of the things I did watch was a breakdown of, it was one of the Vsauce ones that I was watching where he's talking about the book The Population Bomb.
Yeah.
And this other guy who challenged the writer of The Population Bomb to a $10,000 bet, and the author was a pussy. He only agreed to $1,000 bet, which, by the way, he lost. Because he said, you know, everything's going to get worse. And the other guy, you're full of shit. And actually bet him like, all right, in 10 years, we'll look at these 10 different metrics and see if things are better and worse. And in all 10 of them, things were better. You know what sells, Jack, is scaring the shit out of people.
Oh, always has. Doomsday cults are very popular still.
Yep. And all you got to do is tell people they're going to die, and they will give you money to tell you, for you to tell them how they're going to die. You're going to all die of the COVID. Well, no. Shit. And now, Jack, if I get hit by a bus, I'm a COVID death.
Yeah.
Luckily, I live in the middle of nowhere, and we don't even have buses, so I'm pretty safe that way, but still.
I don't know. Your luck, a rogue bus will be lurking in some shrubbery.
Keanu Reeves will be driving up here soon.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, that reminds me. Thank you to Disgruntled Technician. The low-budget focus is why I like John Wick so much. Did go over the top with the VFX. Story was just interesting enough to hold you, and the focus on the practical effects of just being believable enough to suspend disbelief was a real nice change. I agree.
Yeah, John Wick is a great example of less is more.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the last 3 movies. I saw 1, but I haven't watched 2, 3, or 4. But 1 was excellent. Just excellent.
Yeah, I saw the... I don't think I saw the 4th one. I don't remember if I saw it or not. But yeah, they're all really good.
The pitch meeting for that one is excellent. And actually, watch the pitch meeting of him watching his own pitch meeting. You go to the pitch meeting channel, and he does these reviews of ones he's done before, where he shows them and then he talks about them at the end. And in the John Wick one, he goes, I actually had trouble making that one. And there's a joke in the pitch meeting where the producer guy suggests something and the writer guy's like, no. And he goes, you're really making it hard for me to ruin this movie. And it's true. If you watch it, it's such a simple premise. It is really well done. And it was cheap. Keanu Reeves is the most expensive part of that movie. His paycheck. Alan, thank you so much. He says, good morning. Good morning, sir. I hope you're well. And all right, so let's get into Alex Jones being reinstated. There's been a big push on Twitter for Alex Jones to be reinstated. And for some reason, that rhetoric got very loud this last week. I don't know why. Maybe it was because the Tucker interview, because Alex did a big interview with Tucker Carlson. Yeah, that's probably what kicked it back off. And Elon, when he's letting people back on, he says he's never going to let Alex back on because of Sandy Hook. Yeah. Well, Elon did a poll. Should Alex Jones be reinstated? And yes, won. And so he gets put back on the platform. So Alex Jones is back over there on Twitter. Sorry, X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. And some liberals have lost their fucking minds over it. Now, one of the things that made me laugh is when Alex, he put the poll out there, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said something to him like, Alex should be allowed to come back on and say what he wants. And Elon said, but nothing criminal. I'm like, motherfucker, you respond to and promote the Krasenstein brothers.
Yeah, there's terrorist groups on there.
Yeah, but the with the Krasenstein specifically, he helps promote those two fucking criminal retards who, by the way, actually defrauded people online. Alex Jones said some shit people disagree with. Literally, that's all he did. Now, we got to talk about Piers Morgan in this instance, Jack, because, oh shit, you know what? I need to switch back to, we'll see what happens with this. Anyway, Piers Morgan had some stuff to say about Alex Jones coming back. With the internet the way it is, guys, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but Piers, you're really pissing me off lately because you had the bullshit you pulled with Kyle Rittenhouse the other day, which was fucking disgusting. For those of you who didn't see it, this piece of shit asked Kyle Rittenhouse how it felt when he killed those people, and Kyle says, I think that's an inappropriate question. He goes, yeah, but how does it feel? And Kyle goes, well, it fucking sucks. I have nightmares and PTSD over this. And our man Piers here goes, this sounds like you're making it all about you. Like you asked him how he felt, and then you gave him shit for telling you how he felt. That annoyed the shit out of me, Jack.
Yeah, it was gotcha.
It was bullshit is what it was. He wanted him to come out and go like, oh my God, murdering somebody is horrible. He didn't murder anybody, you piece of shit. He defended himself. Anyway, Piers doesn't like Alex Jones, and he's going to tell us why.
Well, I'm a passionate defender of free speech.
Bullshit.
No, he's a defender of some speech. Thank you, Alan, for the generous donations. This is morning, Jack. Good morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well. Did you get your Alan donation?
I did.
Oh, just checking.
I just got to take some pills real quick.
Oh, Piers is looking like an old lady right there. Like you put a bonnet on him.
Right. One of the worst parts of this is still going on. I keep getting these headaches, man.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh man, I first get into there and they check my blood pressure and it's like 212 over 95 or some shit. And they're like, oh my God, do you take anything for high blood pressure? I'm like, yeah. They say, did you take it today? I'm like, yeah. Like, your blood pressure is really high. I'm like, I have a pain in my rib and I had to walk the fuck in here. Calm down, let me relax, and it'll go away. They checked it 15 minutes later and it was like in the normal range. And then they made me move again and it spiked back up. I'm like, I'm telling you, stop making me fucking move. Anyway. Our passionate defender of the First Amendment, no, sorry, he's in England, of free speech is about to tell us why he doesn't actually defend free speech.
There's a massive clue in the name of the show, uncensored. And I believe in it.
Yeah, like Antifa says they're anti-fascist as they push fascist behaviors. Sure.
You're right.
It says it in the title, Jack. I'm going to start titling this like Monkey has the biggest cock ever. And then it'll be like, it's in the title, y'all. You can't question it. It's in the title. Don't pay no attention to the fact that it's not true. I mean, it's nice, but it's not huge. It's not going to scare women. I mean, even my wife, when I surprise her with it, she doesn't, oh my God, she's like, put that away. You know what I mean? So just putting something in the title doesn't mean shit, fucker. This is one of those times, words versus actions, asshole. Do you actually support? And have you seen the Dankula clip?
Yes. Somebody sent it to me on Twitter.
I don't know if it's part of this, because I have not watched all of this. I think I've watched like another 15, 20 seconds of this. So I don't know if that's actually part of this one, but we will watch the Dankula clip either way. Oh, what a wonderful pause. Man, even with COVID, best pause game in the biz. Just saying.
believe that all honestly held opinions, however offensive they are, belong in the open, where they can be challenged, debated, and exposed. But there are limits.
I believe all opinions, no matter how offensive, should be put out in the open.
Except he contradicts that in the Dankula clip.
But there are limits. He contradicts it in the same fucking sentence. All right.
On free speech, there are laws, and there is a line. I've always said that Alex Jones is a perfect example of where that line got crossed. He's a conspiracy theorist and shock jock in America.
For the record, and this is something I didn't know until recently, you and I talked about this offline last time we spoke. Alex Jones called 9/11 like 4 months before it happened. Our conspiracy theorists. Now, it doesn't mean that Jones doesn't get shit right, but they call him a conspiracy theorist all the time and never point out when he gets shit right.
Yeah.
He's not a conspiracy theorist. He's somebody who looks at what's going on and makes guesses. That's not a conspiracy theory. Being wrong doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. It makes you a theorist, for fuck's sake. Cite his line he cried. Oh, wait for it, Faithless.
Who made hundreds of millions of dollars by peddling outrageous lies that the Sandy Hook school massacre shooting was a hoax.
How you know he made hundreds of millions of dollars off just that? You do realize that Alex Jones says a lot of shit on his shows, and he doesn't stay on one specific topic.
He did not build his platform on Sandy Hook, which they seem to think.
He was already big. That's why anybody ever heard it, dipshit. Seal, thank you. He would not know free speech if it slapped him in the face. That's true. I mean, he cares about his. And Snubber, thank you. Dankula counters beautifully, in my opinion. He did. He absolutely did. I wish he would have called Piers out on his bullshit, but we'll get there. Because Piers does what a lot of these shitheads do.
For the uninitiated, this is him shouting at me a week after that massacre on CNN.
Now, before we watch it, I just want to point out that he made $100 million peddling conspiracy theories about Sandy Hook, right? All right, here's the clip.
The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand?
All right. Jack, did you hear any conspiracy theory in there?
Nope.
We opened the show and somebody immediately asked us about people in our own government trying to limit firearms. That's not even a conspiracy that people are trying to do it. Now they'll deny and go, no, we don't want to take all your guns. We just want to take all the ones that shoot. That he takes this fucking thing about Sandy Hook. You don't have any part of that clip that you could have shown that actually shows him saying that there was a conspiracy there. He's talking about in that clip at the time, and this is what blew up with Sandy Hook. After Sandy Hook, there becomes this mass push to limit guns, as there is after any fucking shooting. But this time, a whole bunch of little kids died, which is fucking tragic. And boy, could the gun rights people not wait to the anti-gun folks, to climb up on top of all those dead little kids and go, we got to take your rights away. And that's what fucking Alex was talking about there.
Yep.
There's no conspiracy there. That is absolutely 100% what happened. Now, wait. Dipshit here has a different take on that. Maybe I watched a little bit more than this than I thought.
You kind of won that debate, actually, because the only response in America to the Sandy Hook massacre was to do nothing.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Look, Piers is an anti-gun person, so of course he's like, if they didn't get rid of all the guns like I had demanded, fuck off, Piers.
He won because they didn't do anything. Actually, there were laws passed after Sandy Hook. There was a massive push for it, and a whole bunch of propaganda went out. You fucking little wimp.
In fact, they continue to sell a lot more guns. 1 million new guns get sold in America every month. and they're already over 400 million in circulation. So if you're wondering,
well, damn, we must have all died already. As dangerous as guns are.
Guns, super scary things that don't do anything unless a person does something with them.
All right, now that's where I stopped watching. I know for a fact where I did stop. So apparently I watched 1 minute and 20 seconds. This is what happens when you're kind of out of it and watching shit. All right.
if you're curious why there are so many more mass shootings in America than there used to be, that's why.
What? Okay, let me ask you this, Piers. 400 million, by his own telling, that is what? 12 million new guns a month, right? He said a million guns a month are sold. Or sorry, 12 million a year. It would take over 30 years to reach the 400 million. So where exactly was the tipping point? It wasn't 1 million guns. It wasn't 2 million. Was it 3? At what point did it get to where we have so many guns that we're just, fuck, we got to go mass shoot people? The change is not gun culture. It's not. Actually, less people have guns now than they used to, because it used to be everybody had a fucking gun because you had to for your own fucking safety.
Yeah.
And as we become civilized, you have places that are quickly being like, oh, no, I don't need a gun. I don't need a gun. And while we have more in circulation, my dad used to bring his gun to school and nobody went, oh, my God, Frank's dad's going to shoot people.
Yeah.
You know why? Because everybody did it.
Yeah, that was just a thing.
The change has been in how we treat each other, in our pride in ourselves and our country, and fuck right off, man. Thank you, Corey. CT is so bad, I now have to register my pre-ban AR. For real? I'm guessing CT be in Connecticut. I'm not shocked. Right. New England is a weird place. Anyway.
And if you're wondering what's going to happen in the next few years, as 1 million new guns enter circulation and nothing gets done to stop mass shootings, my guess is there'll be a lot more mass shootings.
My guess will be that there'll be a lot more mass shootings because, I mean, we have more people than we used to. We have no honor in our country anymore.
Yeah, we have rising crime rate that the prosecution refuses to press. So, of course, more people think they get away with more and more crime.
Yeah.
So, plus, it's pretty predictable that if you have crime, you're going to continue to have crime because there's no such thing as a place without crime.
And then you have things like, hey, we got to get rid of the police. Shit, where'd all the crime come from?
Yeah.
Fuck right off, man. I'm so tired of guns being blamed for this shit. Guns aren't the problem. People are. It's an old saying, but it's true. Guns don't kill people. People do.
Well, I mean, look at all the knife crime they have in Britain. They don't have the guns, so they use knives. They shove people through windows or hit them with baseball bats.
They have such a problem with knife crime in the UK. This is true. Look it up. That they set up boxes for you to drop off your cutlery because, you might have a dangerous weapon. That's a real thing. But hey, you're going to get stabbed. It'll be a lot better than getting shot.
I've covered a lot of them, especially when I was at CNN in America. Very few of them, in fact, none of them actually, were soul crushing as Sandy Hook. 20 children, aged.
Stand on them, Piers. I know they're little, so it's not as big a soapbox, but it's amazing how much taller it seems when you guys are on their dead bodies, you fucking piece of shit.
Yep.
Between 6 and 7 were murdered by a mass killer with a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle. Alex Jones is...
Would it have been better if it was with a pistol? Because those are semi-automatic too.
You mean like the Virginia Tech shooter?
Like most mass shootings. Most mass shootings are done with most shootings are done with handguns.
Yeah, but one that got major press was the Virginia Tech one, and they didn't bother to really talk about his guns that much, but it's 2 pistols.
Reaction to this absolute appalling atrocity.
And for the record, let's talk about that for a minute. going back to the 80s, Reagan gets shot, and James Brady's there with him. And he gets shot too and pretty fucked up. And him and his wife go on this crusade to get the Brady gun bill. It was to get rid of handguns. You know where that switched? That switched with Columbine.
Yeah.
They couldn't get the handgun thing done because people were like, are you fucking crazy? Even though statistically, if you were trying to get crime down, if you were trying to save lives, you'd be going after handguns, not rifles. The vast majority of killings with guns in the United States, whether you're talking about suicide or actual murder, it's handguns. Overwhelmingly handguns. And they're like, no, we got to get rid of that scary looking thing. That looks like something I saw in a movie once.
Yeah.
Fucking shitheads.
Was to tell his followers on his InfoWars show it was all a government hoax set up by the Obama administration.
He did say that.
Deep state plot to justify.
Did he use the term deep state, or are you throwing that in there, sir?
I think he's throwing it in there. Look, Piers is from a place. You have to remember there is a distinct cultural difference. If you haven't been raised around firearms, they're going to look a lot scarier. There's firearms within arm's reach at my parents' house, and they just lay them around. That's because Dad's paranoid. But people that from other places, they're not used to that. It makes them slightly uncomfortable because they've grown up in this fear-monger culture, and people like Piers are the source of that. They are so afraid that guns will jump up and shoot them because they don't understand them.
Well, did you see the Biden clip on that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, do I have it? We got to watch it.
While you're looking that up, thank you, Dixie Rose, for that freedom donation, 1776. Let him come over to the States, to LA or Chicago, and see how he feels about guns. Oh, he'll still be a giant pussy. The guy's a coward. And a lot of people in the UK do not understand firearms because they're not around them. They don't understand that they don't just jump up and shoot people, or they're not demonically possessed, where if you touch one, you're just going to start shooting everybody in the room.
All right, let's...
Oh, God.
The President of the United States explaining gun crime, y'all.
The idea, if you were driving your automobile here, and you left in the key in the parking lot, you left the key in the ignition, and a kid came up and jumped in and stole it, and they got in a crash, you're liable civilly. Why in God's name do people not have to lock up their firearms? Why is that not a requirement? All these mass murders, not this weekend, but have been because people have picked up kids and grabbed stuff off of counters, off of the... Anyway, I don't want to get back.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
This is the President of the United States. One, did you notice what he said there? If you leave your key in the car and a kid comes and gets it in a crash, you're civilly liable, not criminally, civilly. So you could be sued for it, right? That there's a difference there. And he's like, but most of the killings that happened, not this week. I don't know why this weekend was different. But every other weekend, apparently, it's just little kids were finding guns laying on counters and mass shooting people with them.
Yep, apparently. Every now and then, some irresponsible shitbag leaves a gun out and a kid gets a hold of it. Fine. Gun locks defeat the point of having a weapon that available for home defense. If somebody breaks in your home, you have seconds to respond. You don't have time to be like, oh, hang on, let me find the key for my gun lock. That's fucking dumb.
Correct.
Also, teach your kids respect for your firearms.
But even there, I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, yeah. Somebody said Monk passed out. No, I'm still here. If I remember correctly, weren't the guns used in Sandy Hook stolen?
Yes.
Weren't they stolen from a gun safe?
Yeah, they were stolen from the kid's mother's gun safe, as I recall.
Yeah, because he couldn't get his own. He tried to get his own gun and he failed the background check, so he just stole his mom's.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't just laying on the counter. Anyway.
Oh, hey, Satsu.
Satsu, dude, man, I missed you earlier. We were going to try to game stream tonight, and I sent him a message telling him I was awake, and my phone does not. For any of you out there who have my my phone number and you try to text me, there's a 99% chance I will not see it when it comes through because my phone rarely, if ever, gives me a notification that I got a text. And
No, I just don't look at my phone. Makes it a lot easier.
He texted me back pretty quick, but I didn't see it for almost an hour. Sorry about that, homie.
Right. I got a new mobile game, so I play that, and I ignore all the text messages that come in while I'm playing the game. But thank you, Disgruntled Technician. The difference between here and the UK is just like the video from the last stream. Everything is closer there. No large spans of wilderness, isolated from violent cartels, no massive gangs. They do have far more burglaries with the owner's home. Yeah, which you'd think they'd want firearms to defend themselves, but that also means faster response time from the police. And if you're out in like Kentucky, you have to worry about not only bears, but random marauders trying to do a home invasion on your mansion or house just to steal whatever little bit you've got. People are fucking evil. And if they get a chance, they will rip you off. Some people are just scumbags. And we have a lot of scumbags here. And it's best to protect yourself from them. And if they don't want to protect their people, the UK obviously sucks.
Easier to control people is all. All right, back to Dickhead here.
New gun laws that would take away their guns. He said the grieving families were all crisis actors.
Yeah, he did.
Sandy Hook, it's got inside job written all over it. Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first. People just instinctively know that there's a lot of fraud going on. But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake.
And he was wrong. He's still allowed to have that opinion, though. You're allowed to be wrong. Now, the one thing he does say there, Jack, when he calls the parents crisis actors, that you can point to and go defamation. And if he gets sued for it, as he did, okay. I don't have a problem with it. My problem with it is the punishment that was put out for it.
Oh, it was ridiculous. That was a speech crime. Like, the guy should be able to say whatever he wants. It's fucking ludicrous, because just because somebody said something mean about you doesn't mean you get $1 billion. Fuck off. And
a defamation suit like that, the idea that these people lost, because that's what defamation is for the loss to your reputation and the loss to, say, business, mostly for the business that you lose from reputation.
Yeah, I doubt anybody walked in somebody's shop and was like, "You're a phony. Alex Jones said so. You're not a real person." Well, he said there were actors. I didn't hear him. In the clip Piers presented, I didn't hear Alex Jones say the parents are crisis actors.
Snubber, thank you. After the lawsuit, he was partially right. I don't see victims there. I see exploiters. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that again with Hunter. But this was exploitative, and this was to punish Alex, not because of what he said, but to get him off the air for everything he's ever said. That's what it was. This was not just about the Sandy Hook thing. And there were people who they reached out to those parents. They said some horrible shit.
Yeah, but that's not Alex's fault. He didn't tell them to do that.
He did not. But they're like, but he said this stuff and it caused these people. You know what? Let's stop watching this part of Piers. I want to watch the Dankula one, Jack, because we see what he's saying here. Look, he said these vile things, and by his own statement a moment ago, that's crossing the line. He called them crisis actors. And here, again, you want to sue him for defamation for that? Go ahead. The problem isn't that he was sued for defamation. It's the punishment and the ridiculousness about it. This was political. It had nothing to do with those kids or the families, for that matter. It was to punish him. And not punish him for that, but punish him for just being Alex Jones. So Dankula is on in this. And here there's a smaller clip that I want to watch, because this is an interesting thing you see these fucking assholes do. If you are somebody who supports free speech, you will run into this a lot if you're consistent and defend free speech.
Yeah, I think he's completely right in doing it. It's
Why?
Elon Musk's company, so if he wants Alex Jones back on the platform, then he absolutely can. And he did put it to a poll to the public, Vox Populi, Vox Day, and people said they wanted him back on the platform, so he's brought them back on the platform.
It's an amateur poll. 2 million of his followers voted. We don't know how many times each one.
Yeah, you can only have scientific polls if you want people back on things you own.
Well, Dank is about to call him out for this real quick, but he says he got 2 million. We don't know how many times these people voted. This isn't an online poll like setting up an anonymous poll on some stupid polling site. You can only vote once per account, and maybe people signed into 1 million accounts to say, yes, let him back.
The Russians were real eager to get him on.
I voted. I used my one account that I have. My cousin didn't even vote in this one, Jack.
Oh.
And I voted to let him back on. So there were millions of people who are like, yes, let the guy back on. And for the record, Elon has put up polls before that you would think, say, conservatives would go for it, and the conservative side lost. They could have had a ton. This would have a perfect point for all those people who went off to the other platforms so they could see child porn and actual racism, that they could have been back here being like, no, don't let him back on, and made their voice heard. But they don't actually like free speech. So, no. But anyway, we don't know how many times they voted. Bullshit. Yes, we do. Each account can only vote once. If you vote in a poll on Twitter, you only get to do it one time. Your vote is locked in. It's more secure than some elections.
So just not sophisticated.
Each account can only vote once.
Yeah, but my point is there a line that...
See right there, he says it real quick. You can only vote once. And do you see what dickhead here did? Yeah, but my point is,
yeah.
What about you? I thought your point was that people can vote more than once.
That disproves my point. So I gotta deflect and move along, because I don't like that. I don't like the reality of that. I hate free speech, which he does. He
does.
No on free speech at all for you?
For me personally, no.
Nothing.
No. I think that Alex Jones should be able to go on Twitter. If they want him there, then that's fine. They can have him there, and he can.
Do you think what he said about the Sandy Hook massacre was justified?
Justified.
You see that?
Yeah, he tried to trap him. And good on Dankula for having been on the internet long enough to know these bullshit tactics that he's pulling right here. Because these are fucking feminist talking points. The way he's structuring these arguments.
I've been in this argument so many times. The first time I got into it online was over the Klan walking through Cincinnati.
The daddy.
Yeah. And I'm like, they have a right to do that. And people are, oh, you agree with what they say? Like, I didn't fucking say it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, way to really draw two different things together there. Nice straw man you fielded while moving a goalpost. That's impressive.
I believe you have the right to say it, and I agree with you. Those are two different things. Most of the time when I'm out there defending free speech, it's not something I agree with.
Yeah, which is the type of speech you should defend.
It's the only type you have to defend, because generally the other kind doesn't get challenged.
Yeah.
It's like, he has the right to say it. Wouldn't say it was justified.
$1.2 billion worth of damages awarded against him for.
Okay, the 1.2 million or billion awarded against him doesn't mean shit, Piers. That has nothing to do with whether or not he should have the right to say it. These people who were manipulated with pictures of dead kids gave the families $1 billion to see. That shows he's wrong. Piers, as a news person, should you be allowed to be sued every time you're wrong, sir? For $1 billion?
He'd be a very poor man.
The entirety of our media would be broke. They would have negative net worths if every time they said something wrong on the air and they got sued for it. Look, man, we know a lot of the times these guys win these lawsuits when they say things wrong because they use that stupid intent bullshit. You have to prove intent. They didn't have to prove intent with Jones. They didn't have to prove that he wanted those families targeted and harassed. But if you tried that with, I don't know, Van Jones the other day saying that Vivek is a horrible, disgusting person who wants to, bring white supremacist shit. You can't sue him for that because that's just his opinion, yo. It's not true, but it's its opinion. All right.
One of the most serious
biggest civil suit against an individual in the history of America.
One of the worst defamations, actually, in terms of damages America's ever seen. Damages and defamation is not protected by the First Amendment, and yet you think he was.
It actually is still protected by the First Amendment because he didn't get any criminal penalty for it.
Yeah. You're just going to get sued civilly.
Yeah.
He's not going to get thrown in jail for it.
So if you want to say free speech, sure, but that's not a First Amendment issue there, Piers. You fucking limey. If you're going to talk about it, at least learn about it, shithead.
No, because it doesn't fit his narrative.
True. Pirate says Jones didn't get a trial. He didn't. The trial that we saw of Alex Jones was not whether or not he was guilty. The judge decided that on her own.
Yep.
And she decided it because she said Alex Jones wasn't turning over enough evidence. You have all the fucking video and stuff. Oh, we need to see his emails, see if he was like, go get those people. There was no trial of Alex Jones.
I think he had a right to say it.
He had a right to say that a mass shooting that killed 20 young kids was a fake and a hoax.
Would it be better if it was 20 old kids? 20 adults.
Yeah, no, 20 elderly people. How about that?
20 middle-aged people. What makes it better? And yeah, it is horrible that 20 kids lost their lives that day. But so did teachers. But fuck them, right? You don't get the same sympathy when it's teachers. You got to go for them dead kids. You guys are so fucking disgusting in your anti-gun nonsense.
The parents of the grieving dead were crisis actors. These were statements which he repeatedly made, which led to actual intimidation, harassment, death, and rape threats, and people in the street going up to these people and confronting them.
Piers, have you ever said anything that made anything wrong that made people? Whoops, hang on. Have you ever said anything wrong that made people overreact and send death threats and stuff to people?
What?
Froggy, thank you. Off topic. I'm going to meet Ramaswamy at a town hall on Thursday. I'm going to tell him that I first heard of him from a crippled monkey with gay hair on the internet.
Yes.
Froggy, that's awesome. One, that you get to meet him. Yeah. Tell him to reach out to Monkey and come on our show. I would love to talk to Vivek. I really would. I don't know if he'd go on a show where you don't actually show your face. But I love the guy. I think he's great. And he's one of the few people that when I see him challenged on stuff, he answers it. So I'd be interested to talk with the gentleman. All right.
These parents, you think all that is fine?
I don't think it's fine. I never said it's
What is
fine.
it?
I said he has a right to do it.
Does he have a right to do it?
Yeah, agreeing that someone has a right.
Do you think he has a right to do that?
Yeah, I think he has a right to do
Well,
it.
time out. Because see what Piers is trying to do there? He lays off all this stuff that other people did. Alex Jones said this, and it led to all these people doing this. Do you think he has a right to do that? He has a right to say that, yes. But you're pinning all this other shit to Alex that he didn't do. Keldrick, thank you. Appeals to emotion are bullshit manipulative tactic, and Piers can fuck off with all that bullshit. I agree. But anyway, I'm actually interrupting Dank, who does a good point here.
Going up to these people and confronting them, these parents, you think all that is fine?
I don't think it's fine. I never said it's fine. I said he has a right to do it.
Does he have a right to do it?
Yeah, agreeing that someone has a right.
Do you think he has a right to do that?
Yeah, I think he has a right to do it.
Really?
Agreeing that someone has a right to do something isn't the same as agreeing with what they say.
No, I agree.
I agree.
I agree. No, you don't. You're saying you're agreeing because you have to. Because if you say you don't agree, it comes out that your whole shit at the beginning of, I am a firm believer in free speech. I defend it. Did you see the title of my show? If you were honest right there and said you didn't agree with what he just said, then everybody would know you're full of shit. We all know you're full of shit anyway, but you're just going to keep lying.
Of course he is.
By your own by your own admission here, I mean, by your own points here, you're bullshitting on here. So if I went out and did something horrible, that would be your fault. Thank you, Ebony. I've had a cold since Sunday night. I blame you. COVID is going around real bad. Just be careful. I am still running fever, so I can still pass it to you. My bad.
Right. So you actually think he has a right to do what he did with the consequences we now know happened?
Yes, basically, yeah, a bunch of nutters did do a lot of awful stuff after the fact, but that's basically going down the same route of, remember back in the 90s, they wanted to ban video games and Dungeons and Dragons because they thought it caused violence and devil worship. Or you can't, engage with this type of, media, otherwise it's going to cause X, Y, Z, like rap music causes violence, all that other nonsense. If we're saying, oh, this guy's not allowed to say his conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call them because some crazy guy out there might do something mental, then nobody can talk about anything at all.
Well, exactly. 100% Dankula spot on, and I'm glad he didn't fall for. Dankula's been through it, you guys, and he's a calm dude, despite being Scottish and having that accent that makes him sound like Alex Jones. He's a very rational guy, and I like watching when he debates with people because people try to get him in gotchas all the time, and he stops him like this. Now, my problem with Dankula, and again, this clip only goes on for another couple of seconds. I wish you would have called him out here and been like, what you're doing is bullshit. You are conflating what Alex Jones said with what other people did, which is exactly what happened in the case where he gets the 1.2 billion against him.
Yeah.
It became Alex's fault that these crazy motherfuckers went out there and did this shit. But remember, that never happens on the other side. We never saw, hey, Steve Scalise got shot by a Bernie supporter. What Bernie says is getting people killed. Should Bernie Sanders have the right to say that? Several people got shot and Steve Scalise almost died. Oh, no. See, what Bernie says isn't actually causing horrible shit. No. It's only when the right wing does it. Snubber, thank you. Dank is wasted on Scotland. Dank is the hero they need.
Well, you can. There are limits to free speech as there are everything else. Even First Amendment in America has a number of limitations to it.
Incitement to violence being the only major one.
Every time somebody points to an exception to free speech in America, it's always something that is actually criminal. Now, if you want to talk about defamation and stuff, sure, again, that's civil. But the First Amendment doesn't have those limits, Piers. It's not there. And when you talk about the cases that have gone before the Supreme Court and stuff, when it comes to the actual speech is pretty much always protected. It's the actual criminal activity that they're doing. For instance, Jack, let's just use one that's easy to understand, right? Let's say the FBI is talking to some guy online and the guy is talking about these horrible things that he's done to children. And the FBI is like, hey, send me that video. When they go to court, that will be brought up, but them saying that's not the problem. It's the fact that they did it. That's where the crime is.
Yeah.
If they wrote that and it turned out that there was actually zero evidence that they ever did anything, then there's no crime. It's disgusting. And there you go. There's Piers, the great defender of free speech there, Jack, who just doesn't think he should have free speech if it upsets him. That guy's such a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
Could you talk for just a minute? I gotta step away for a sec.
Sure. Thank you, Keldrick. Dankula is one of the most ardent defenders of free speech, and it's damn refreshing compared to all these hypocritical people who believe in free speech, but yeah, a lot of that going around. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that claim they're pro-free speech, and they aren't. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Son can make us incitement to violence and not be taken off the air. Yeah, because he's a favorite of YouTube. big enough producer, you can break all the rules and not get in trouble. Unfortunately, the hypocrisy is widespread. Members of the clan are allowed to shop for groceries. Does that mean grocery stores agree with the clan completely? The logic works for everything. Only the stuff they don't like. If you try it to them with the same mentality, they will say that's unfair because it only goes in one direction, the authoritarian direction of they're always right and you are wrong. Oh, hey, Jeff. Oh, let's see. Ramaswamy did a great stage interview on Alex Jones getting unbanned. Oh, I didn't see that. But hey, the more voices you hear, the better off you are, because then you know that you know where people stand. And if they're complete scumbags, you need to know that. Oh, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. I don't get why these people want to ban hateful speech. It should be out there so we can know who to and not to listen to. If you ban it, it will force it to hide and become much more insidious. Absolutely. Anything driven underground will look attractive to people looking for pretty much anything. Let's be honest. If you're marginalized in society or bullied or just an outcast, you end up finding things that are more, you tend to drift toward things that are a little bit more out of the mainstream because you're pushed out of the mainstream. And I think that creates, when something is said you can't look at that, your first impulse is to want to look at it. And then some people find that very alluring.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Ah, no worries.
Had to find my Snuggie. I'm freezing.
Oh,
all right.
Snuggie, I'm cold.
Leave me and my Snuggie alone.
Leave me and my Snuggie alone. I love doing that voice. It pisses my sister off real bad because just randomly I can make her mad by doing that voice. Doesn't matter what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna get a cheeseburger. Oh, I'm gonna get a cheeseburger. And she'll get all mad. It's fun.
Rogue says hateful speech is defined subjectively. It is. I believe there's hateful speech. I just don't think hateful speech should be illegal.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to be hateful. Anyway, let's move along to CNN because this one actually, it didn't surprise me because we've started to see it quite a bit because of the war in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
This is Fareed Zakaria, I think is how you say his name. He is a CNN contributor, and these are his thoughts on. We can't watch it, Jack. I mean, here, I'll show you why we can't watch it.
Or boobies?
When one thinks of America's greatest strengths,
oh, it's quite a shit, yeah.
It is. So we're just going to put him on the screen as we talk about this. I'll throw it in the chat for you guys who want to go find it. Zakaria, whatever. He's not wrong in what he says here. He's talking about how fucked up our institutions have become, specifically academia, and how you're not allowed to have proper speech and free speech. That they're no longer places of learning. They're places of. I don't think he actually uses the term indoctrination, but talking about how people, they get their gender studies degrees and they're coming out of these colleges with nothing except for stupidity in their brains.
Oh, is he accidentally based?
No, he's doing what everybody's doing. It has taken the bashing of Jews, which has been going on for a while, and all been attributed to the right, despite that not being true. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're being mean to the Jews." Can you believe they're being mean? Do you see the way they're talking about the Jews? This shit is not new. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start on October 7th. This shit started decades ago. This is not just some new thing. This is a long-term plan. And people, some of y'all might be tired of this, but this is the God's honest truth. The communists started this shit back in the 20s. This has been going on. And when I say in the 20s, please understand, I mean 1920, 100 years ago. This shit has been infiltrating our places of higher learning to the point where Harvard right now, that Claudia Gage chick, Dr. Gay, it's come out that this bitch probably should be kicked out of academia for being a plagiarist.
Yeah.
In her dissertation, she has a whole bunch of stuff in there that's not quoted, that are actual quotes. She just writes it as though it's her own. And apparently Harvard's come out and been like, we are not getting rid of this woman. I don't give a shit about what happened there at Congress. It's what I expect to happen with these people. What I do care about, though, is that in the aftermath, this comes out and they're like, yeah, we're sticking with her. Tell me you don't actually care about academic integrity.
Well, she hits all the right markers.
Now, the lady from Penn that we talked about the other day, she had the good sense to step down. After her hostage video, she actually stepped down.
Oh, that was a total hostage video, too.
Snubber, thank you. I heard they captured a leader. Was that why? Who captured what leader?
No, I assume that's what he's talking about.
Who? What do you mean? I don't understand this.
It looks like a hostage video. She was captured, so they caught a skull for getting her fired, or she resigned.
Gotcha. Maybe. Yeah, I just don't know. Diversity poster girl. Here's the thing. Yes, she's a black lesbian woman, but those are pretty plentiful in academia right now. It's not like they couldn't get another diversity hire, because who was it? Jeremy, the quartering. He's like, oh, there's no reason to get rid of her. She agrees with what they say. It's Harvard. They all agree with what she says. And they have other black deans that they could promote to the presidency. It's not like they need her, but they're rallying behind her, even though, again, if it's just the speech stuff, fine, rally around the girl. I don't give a shit. But as soon as the plagiarism pops up, that should have been, you have to go. Sorry.
Worked for MLK. Whoops, did I say that out loud?
It does work for the president of the United States.
Well, he's president now, so yeah.
Yeah.
He's got 4 degrees. He graduated top of his class.
My joke when I saw the plagiarism thing is maybe she's trying to become U.S. president. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this shit before, but typically when it comes out, there's some kind of repercussion. Even Biden, he got away with it for 2020 in 88. That's part of what he dropped out for. This is years after he's left school. But they drummed him out. But now it's like, no, we're going to stay behind her because a Republican was mean to her.
Yeah, bastards.
Our institutes of higher learning haven't been institutions of higher learning for a long time. And when I see something like this, it's like, oh, you finally caught up. I think it was Elon who's like, oh, he's so brilliant here. He's not brilliant here. He barely is paying attention to the world around him here. We were talking about this shit almost a decade ago. How many fucking times have you and I talked about how fucked up our colleges are?
Oh, hundreds.
But now, we see it. Why? Well, did you know they're mean to Jews? They're mean to anybody who doesn't swallow the communist bullshit. No, most of the people who get drummed out of academia are leftist. Bullshit. The only time that happens is when they do something egregious, like horribly egregious by their own standards. And by their standards, I mean something that'll make them get bad press.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just want to remind you, Jack, because I did look this up the other day, and it happened around this whole conversation with these people who are suddenly noticing how bad colleges are. It's been 8 years since a professor at Yale University wrote a letter, an email, in response to the university telling people to be cautious in their Halloween costumes. And she wrote a letter saying, it's Halloween, chill the fuck out. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And because of that, there's a video of her husband. He didn't even say the shit. In the quad there at Yale, getting just blasted by people, including one chick who tells him to shut up at one point as she goes on a rant about how her college should be a safe space. And it's all over somebody saying you should be able to wear whatever fucking Halloween costume you want to. That was
they were making a home there, monkey.
Yeah, that was their danger. Oh my God, somebody's gonna wear a sombrero on Halloween. Oh my God.
It should be a safe space where my feelings are never hurt and everybody agrees with me and I can pet puppies in a safe room.
That teacher had to leave the college because of the amount of harassment her and her husband got.
Well, they wouldn't have been harassed if they had protected the delicate fifis of these violent sociopaths.
8 fucking years ago over Halloween costumes. And these guys are like, oh, man, this came out of nowhere. No, it only came out of nowhere because you agree with the overall philosophy. And now that it's hitting something, oh, God, we can't be mean to Jews. Now you actually give a shit. When oh fuck, what's the guy's name? Eric and his brother Weinstein.
Yeah.
Brett Weinstein gets drummed out of Evergreen. Is that the name of the college?
I think so, yeah.
He ends up having to get in this big old tiff with all of these people. Do you guys remember what that was over? That was over there telling white people that they shouldn't even come to college that day because it was their Reclaim Black Day or whatever stupid shit it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, monkey.
That was almost a decade ago. None of this shit is new, and they're all acting like and patting each other on the back for getting it. Kiss my ass. You're barely paying attention. It's just frustrating, Jack. This is shit we're called conspiracy theories ourselves for. Oh, the communists haven't infiltrated. You're just a right-wing conspiracist. Bullshit. Now you guys are paying attention, and suddenly you guys are like, oh my God, look how smart we are. Fuck you. You fucking assholes have been part of this problem all along. You've been calling people racist and sexist and homophobic and transphobic for having fucking opinions and stating them. Like, oh my God, can you believe that Charlie Kirk was on a campus? Frankly, I'm surprised his head could fit, but otherwise, no.
Well, I mean, theoretically, his whole head could fit on a campus, but in a building, else. I don't know about.
How the fuck you look like a caricature? How would you do a caricature of him? Make him look normal?
Yes.
The face would actually fit the head. Anyway, I'm just tired of them patting each other on the back. And look, CNN got that right, Jack. But they're still wrong because they're acting like it's, oh my God, we didn't even see this coming. We have to stop this. How do you stop it now when 2 generations have been infected with this shit? And literally now, from the moment of birth in some of these people, and when you talk about education, preschool, we saw, remember that? They pointed out that little puppet of mine could have been a trans puppet. We didn't even tell him to say that.
Oh, yeah, we didn't suggest it at all. It wasn't alluded to by anything we did or said. Ignore the side of my head being shaved, and then I have 8 warning signs and pride flags everywhere.
Yeah. These fucking people, they're indoctrinating children, and now they're like, oh my God, can you believe they're acting exactly how we told them to?
It's Piss crazy. Off.
You know, using Piers Morgan as his standard, there's a whole lot of people we should be able to sue for people being harassed and stuff.
That's true.
Over these very topics.
Like half the people you talk to online are fucking lunatics.
Oh my God, man. All right. And finally, I don't actually have an article for this. So instead, what we'll do is we'll make fun of the GoFundMe because it's pretty indicative of what's going on here.
I told you there'd be a GoFundMe. I called that out right away because we both knew it.
Hunter Avallone. Let's talk about his issues. So the other day, I get a message from you and Fugi almost at the same time, telling me to check out Hunter Avallone. Now, the problem is I can't. Hunter, being the giant pussy that he is, blocked me after our discussion.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
No great loss.
Yeah, Hunter's vagina got hurt.
Luckily, my cousin had come over to check on me and see how I was doing with the COVID. And so he let me use his account to see what Hunter was saying. And there was a shooting at Hunter's house. This is real, guys. There was an actual shooting at Hunter Avallone's house, from what we can tell. I still have questions.
I have a lot of questions.
So Hunter moves into the bad part of town.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
That's where Kenny lives.
And his next door neighbor is Hunter Avallone. And look, I don't fault him for living in the ghetto, but it's just funny to me. Sorry, Hunter, you living in the ghetto is funny, especially because I know how scared you are that there might be a black person near. He doesn't accept him the way his wife does. So Hunter,
cold.
Hunter breaks up with his wife when she dumps him because she wants to go have 5 black wieners in somebody's backyard. Again, real thing. And so he has to move out, and he goes and gets this place, this tiny little apartment in the ghetto. And he moves in this crazy bitch. Holly is her name.
Yes. Not the ugliest. I thought for sure he would get an unattractive woman.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, she's not horribly ugly or anything. She's average looking. She's a nice enough looking girl, especially when she puts on all the look I want to be Pokimane kind of makeup.
Yeah,
but
she's got a makeup issue.
She's clearly insane. And I mean that sincerely. If you watch any of her videos or go check out her feed, and I'm not putting it on the screen because I'm not that person. Do not mess with this woman. Leave her alone.
Yeah, don't talk to either one of them if you can avoid it.
Just ignore them.
It's not worth it. They're crazy people.
Just laugh along. That's what these people are for.
Yeah, don't tip the lol cow. That's the rule. AP came up with it. I think it's a great rule. Don't tip over your lol cows because they'll stop being funny.
Yeah, you can't milk them if you kill them, right?
Exactly.
So Hunter moves in this chick, and she just gets out of this relationship with
a manlet.
Manlet, yeah, that's a good way to put it. This bitch of a guy. And Hunter immediately moves crazy in, and the other day it comes to a head when he shows up at their house with a shotgun.
Yeah, the manlet showed up with a shotgun. I thought dwarves only had battle axes. I stood corrected. Apparently, in the modern day, they got shotguns.
A shot goes off. We'll discuss that in a little bit. She gets damaged. She's got some cuts to her leg. And this is where the story picks up. Hunter Avallone starts taping this so people can see what's going on.
Yeah, was he live streaming it? Because
I don't know. There's no way what we saw was live streamed. No, because that video.
I think that was an edited down version of a live stream. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't think it was. Maybe it was a live stream, but the video that we all get to see is clearly edited because there are clearly jump cuts in it.
Yes,
they are on his back porch. As far as we know, his door never actually got breached, but we'll get to that in a little bit. They're on the back porch. She's standing there with blood running down her leg. This is why we can't show it because there's carnage. Yeah. Minor carnage.
Minor.
And I still say that blood does not look real. That blood looks like there's
I'm on the fence on that.
There's water there. Anyway, it's immaterial because apparently it really happened. Blah blah blah. She's on the back porch. This her ex-boyfriend who's crazy, who has a shotgun and already shot at her once that hit her. She is standing behind a wooden door with a giant glass pane and visible holes that are not from the shooting. That's where she's hiding.
Yeah, like I know when I'm in mortal peril, I go to the most exposed place possible so people can witness my demise at the hands of a psychotic ex. So
Now-
the back patio seems the logical place. Not only are you trapped there with only one entrance and a drop, because it looks like they're not on the first floor.
No, it's like 3 or 4 stories up. Yeah.
Yeah, so not only are you going to break a leg or two trying to escape, but you're kind of trapped there, wide open, and a bunch of glass around you. That seems like the most logically safe place. Not the bathroom, so you can hide in the tub and get some extra protection. No, not your bedroom where you should have some firearms. You should have firearms in all your rooms, for that matter.
The reason I point out the door is because the door is in a brick fucking wall. She's not hiding behind the brick fucking wall. She's looking through the big glass plate into their apartment. Okay. Meanwhile, Hunter, I'll give you credit, Hunter. At least you were smart here. Hunter's off to the side behind the fucking brick and behind the woman.
Yeah, he was hiding behind her. Like, I kept calling her the Hamas human shield.
Yes.
Which I think is accurate.
Holly the Hamas human shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but the red is down her leg and Santa's a pussy hiding behind her.
Oh my God, it was so pathetic.
The video starts with Hunter going, "Are you recording?" Now, I'm not sure who he's talking to.
I think they both had their cell phones going.
I didn't see her phone. But it is really interesting. There's a part where he turns away from her and he turns back and she doesn't realize it. Because she'd been moaning and stuff when she was on camera, and he moves the camera and it gets quiet. And he turns it back to her. She sees it and moans immediately.
Yeah, and it was not like a moan of pain. It was more like a moan of sexual ecstasy.
Yeah, it was so the video goes on. He's clearly talking to the police, or it kind of sounds like he's talking to the police. By the way, you have the worst fake scared voice ever, Hunter.
I think that video was a recreation.
I would not be shocked. But anyway, you know what? That would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
It
explains the blood and
yeah,
the other issues you have with it, the jump cuts, and the audio was overlaid from either a TV show or had been recorded while he was like hiding behind her in the bedroom or something.
I didn't even point that out. There's jump cuts in this thing where the audio doesn't jump with it. That's how I know that it's not just a regular video. Whether it was, a recreation, which would be my guess, considering she's worried about being shot, so she's standing behind a plate glass window.
Yeah, like you do, because if nothing's bulletproof, glass isn't bulletproof. What is?
I got this brick I could stand behind, or I could have my face right dead center in this, like I'm a target at a target practice.
Yeah, like
I'm going to set up the silhouette so we can aim dead mass or center mass. Anyway, the whole thing is ridiculous, and it ends with you hearing people going, "Put the gun down, put the fucking gun down," and a whole bunch of shots. And you hear her go, and that's the part where there's a jump cut where the audio doesn't break. It's like the last 5 seconds of it. And Hunter, I know what real horror sounds like. That sounded so fake. It really did. That's why I think you might be right on the recreation thing there, Jack.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the last couple of days, and that would explain all the issues that me and Beast Boy had with the video.
Yeah.
It explains so many of the things about the video, and it explains why Hunter doesn't sound as scared as he probably should be. Although he did have mommy there to protect him.
Well, that's another thing. As a man, how are you not like, bitch, get behind the wall? Even if you're going to hide behind her, like, bitch, get behind the wall.
He's kind of dumb, so.
But anyway, I have many other problems because in the original telling from Hunter, this guy shot himself. Now, that's weird that he shot himself because the shots we hear all sound very similar.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling me he shot himself with a shotgun full of birdshot. There's hang on, we have to lay out the story as the timeline goes. So we're just right now with his story about the gun. Hold any questions till later, guys. He tweets out this story about it, and here's where my second question comes up. In the story, they call it an officer-involved shooting. They don't say anything about this guy shooting himself. They don't mention actually that the officers shot anybody. Because they don't even call it an officer shooting. They just they say a man.
It's a police shooting of some kind, maybe.
Yeah, they don't mention the fact that there's like 9 or 10 shots fired.
Yeah, but maybe that episode of Blue Bloods had a lot more gunfire than
right. Drop the gun, drop the fucking gun. But this leads us to where we are today, and where I have a much, much bigger problem. So this is a GoFundMe that's out there, supposedly put out by Hunter's fans. Sure.
Fuki did send me an image that Hunter did retweet this.
No shit.
I'm shocked too.
It's to raise $5,000 so that Hunter can move, because the psychological stress is too much. The guy who was threatening them is dead. He's dead. What the fuck are you afraid of, Hunter?
But he got doxxed, monkey. Not because, he put this information out there or anything. Because if he hadn't posted that video, he probably wouldn't have been doxxed. But no, that's not it at all. No.
We know he wouldn't have been doxxed because nobody cared about this story. This is a Twitch user. There's a shooting at his house, and that didn't make any media anywhere except for one local paper.
Now, to be fair, nobody cares about Hunter.
Nobody cares about Hunter at all.
You know who I do care about, though? Circus Zero. Thank you, Circus. I want to see the police report on this before I believe anything. Absolutely. You should take everything about this entire fiasco with a lot of salt.
Well, there's a reason I close this, because this comes in my DMs, so I don't want people to see who I'm DMing. Actually, I don't give a shit. It's from Fugi. Thank you, Fugi. This is what's attached to it. On a fateful day that turned Hunter Avalone's world upside down. You wrote this yourself, asshole. I have no doubt Hunter's behind this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
No doubt either.
I'll tell you why in a second. Turned Hunter Avalone's world upside down. The YouTuber found himself confronted with a harrowing incident that left him and his loved ones traumatized. His loved ones? You mean the crazy bitch? That's one person.
Now, other people love Hunter, monkey. How dare you?
It's evident that their road to recovery will require a new home away from the haunting memories that now plague their lives. A peaceful day was interrupted by the deafening sound of chaos and violence within seconds. Don't let Chat GPT write your shit for you, homie. Hunter's buildings. Go ahead.
The over alliteration, I'm trying to be all dramatic. You're not good at it, dude. Just stop, okay?
Yeah. Hunter's building suddenly became the backdrop of a terrifying confrontation as an ex-boyfriend of his girlfriend appeared with a shotgun intending on killing Hunter. Keldrick, thank you. Hunter has fans. I refuse to believe it. Hey, there's 4 of them. You leave those 4 people alone.
Yeah, they're like 12. So,
okay, we have no indication that this guy was there to hurt Hunter.
Yeah, it sounds like it was more. I mean, just by the scenario, you can gather that it's probably a murder-suicide. He wanted to kill her and himself.
Yep.
If I can't have her, no one can, kind of thing.
Yep.
Or he was just going to kill her. I don't know.
Hunter's incidental here.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the fact that he hooked up with a crazy bitch with a crazy ex, I mean.
Yeah, we've all done that, though.
They weren't there for Hunter. Where are we?
Way to make it about yourself, Hunter.
Now pay attention.
German clinical trial members.
Pay attention to this part. This part's interesting. Remember what I've told you about the story so far. Guy shows up to kill her. She gets shot in the leg. In the ensuing chaos, Hunter's girlfriend suffered injuries to her leg from glass and a ricochet bullet, leaving her physically and emotionally scarred. A ricochet bullet? That's not what Hunter told us originally. Hunter told us she got shot. He didn't say the guy fired the gun and it bounced and hit her.
Yeah, it was probably glass.
Technically, she got shot, I guess. I mean, in the picture, it looks like there's a little piece of metal there. But it does explain all the superficial wounds because she has a bunch of tiny little marks on her that are bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
The repercussions of this horrifying event ripple far beyond the immediate victims. Does it? The aftermath has left the landlord facing a staggering financial burden as repairs and restoration costs skyrocket.
Well, sue that guy's estate. That's why you have insurance.
Okay. The police shot him a bunch of times. There was one shot fired is all we've been told from Hunter's side. How much damage did that cause?
Well, it sounded like the guy shot in the door. I don't know. This is all very confusing.
Oh, well, no, he maybe shot through the door because he didn't even break the door open. The door was still locked because remember we hear him pounding. That's when they get the scare. Oh my God, quick, come get him because we hear thump, thump, thump. This really weird knocking pattern.
Yeah.
So the door was still fine. I mean, it might have had holes in it. You got to replace it. That's a couple $100.
Yeah.
But these horrible, these staggering financial burdens. The fuck are you saying? He didn't burn the building down. It's maybe $1,000. And for the record, that has nothing to do with raising money for Hunter. This isn't money for the landlord. This is actually raising money so that Hunter can leave that place. Anyway, moreover, the emotional toll inflicted on Hunter and his girlfriend and everyone involved is immeasurable. Yeah, they were so fucking distraught by this, they made sure to film it and made sure to put it out on the internet.
I know what I'm scared for my life. My first thought is, where's my camera?
And doxing himself. Nobody knows that this shooting happened at his house if he doesn't tell them. It's just a small story in a small paper that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
This, as soon as this starts happening, Hunter sees, oh, there's an opportunity here. I can leave the ghetto. Anyway, relocation will not only provide them with a physical escape from the haunting memories, but also offer the vital space and environment needed to heal and rebuild their lives. Hey, Hunter, you know people get shot up in the ghetto all the time, right? I'm just saying there's people who live with this shit. And if you live in Chicago, it's a constant threat. You're not even threatened anymore. The guy who was there is dead. And nobody came for you because of any of the stupid shit you've said online.
Ah, monkey, but you forget his spooky ghost will be haunting Hunter and hunting him in his dreams, like Freddy Krueger.
As Hunter's dedicated supporters, we have the power to make a difference. By contributing to his GoFundMe campaign, we can help alleviate the financial burden of this traumatic event and empower him to secure a safe home while he deals with the aftermath. You know, that safe home. Hunter used to own guns or claim to. Now, this has been brought up before, and for the record, it is entirely possible that he sold his guns because he's a broke bitch. I'm just saying, trying to do the Destiny thing and being a copy of a copy isn't working out for him.
No. But, you know, a good old-fashioned home invasion shooting at your girlfriend will bring some eyeballs on your streams.
Except it hasn't. It's funny how little he's gotten attention for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only people I've seen talk about it are there's like 3 or 4 people. I mean, I can count them on one hand.
If I'm being honest here, I don't think this guy actually intended to harm them at all. I think he went there to kill himself in front of her.
Well, she's not going to learn otherwise, I guess. That'll show her.
But anyway, look, I'm glad they're okay. I really am. But this has been so overhyped for what it is. Look, I'm sure that's a scary moment, Jack.
Sure, of course.
You got a crazy motherfucker who shows up at your house with a gun because you're banging his lunatic ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I'm sure that's scary. But my issue with it is the way he is just blatantly, from the very beginning, clout chased with it.
Yep.
I mean, are you recording? It's literally the first fucking thing you hear. Are you recording? Circus, thank you. I DM'd you a Daily Mail article on this. Police did confirm he killed himself after gunfire exchange. No police report, but at least they talked to the police to confirm things. He shot himself with a shotgun. That's hardcore.
That is hardcore. You'll blow your head off that way, but I can. I'm sure you fucked that up somehow.
That's why I'm. How bad are the police there that they fired? There's like 9 or 10 shots and they didn't kill him. I still have questions. I'm sorry. There's something weird there. We ever seen a police shooting where they fired 9 or 10 times at a stationary target and they killed themselves instead?
The Columbus police one time shot like 30 shots. Didn't hit the guy at all, but they hit a civilian who was coming out of a neighboring building.
They need to work on their training there, man.
Right? I was like, wow, you guys are bad at this.
I know a silhouette they could use. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one. I'm glad everybody's okay, but this from the beginning has been used as nothing but a way to chase clout because he's a little bitch. Clout chasing pussy. How you hide behind that wall like that and not once do you go, hey, get over here. Get away from the door.
Yeah, shelter in place, not out on your balcony like a tard.
Even on the balcony. Why is she standing in front of a wooden fucking door with holes in it?
They're not smart people.
2 feet to the right, there's a fucking wooden or brick wall. Put your back up against it. Why the fuck? Jesus Christ. No, I think from the moment that we see the video start, this was all him going, oh my God, I'm going to be so famous. I'm going to be so famous, you guys. Do you think he's mad? Never mind. I mean, I'm not going to ask that. I'll ask that off the air. Let's just say, do you think he wishes it had gone worse?
Yeah, I do.
Now, Jeremy's one of the people who responded to this, and somebody tagged me because Jeremy's like, why would he need to move? The threat's eliminated. And I'm sorry, I forgot who said it, but they're like, I think Ranting Monkey's going to be like, don't make me defend Hunter. I'm not going to defend Hunter on this. There's no reason for him to need to move. If they were saying, hey, let's raise money to buy Hunter a firearm, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But the threat to him is eliminated. Like, oh, but his dox is out there. I am fairly certain that Hunter was doxed when he actually had an audience.
Probably.
And nobody ever went to kill him.
Nobody gives a shit about him.
Yeah. Nobody was there to kill him because of shit that he said online or anything else. It's because he banged this crazy bitch and moved her into his house. And it's not her fault. I mean, she is nuts and hooked up with a nutso. But it's not like Hunter was being targeted. Anyway. No, I swear he said it. We just hadn't started recording yet. Let's see what this YouTuber girlfriend is shot by her ex-boyfriend is harrowing footage. They love that word. Shows them hiding from gunmen moments before he turns the weapon on himself. All right. We're back on the other internet, Jack. So if this gets crappy, it's because we're on the Daily Mail and not on a archive for it. Her ex referred to as Conrad. That's another. I'm sorry, you there?
Yeah, you there?
Hello. Oh,
yeah, I can hear you.
That's another thing from the original article that we got is the police This is hours after the shooting. We don't know who he is. I wasn't even there and I knew who it was. I haven't interviewed the principals and I know who he was. I didn't have access to his fucking wallet and I knew who he was. But the police, they have no information on the suspect. What? Her ex, referred to as Connor, shot through the door of the building. So it wasn't even the door of his house? This is just the door to the apartment building?
I'm a little unclear about that because allegedly this guy killed himself in Hunter said in his hallway. He said in my hallway. I thought that was in the apartment hallway, not in the complex hallway. That's
no. Again, clearly the complex, because remember, there's the knocking. There would be no reason for him to be knocking like that if he was within the house.
Yeah, well, there might have been a room between the balcony might be off the master bedroom.
Oh shit! I don't know if I can show this. Please don't put the blood on the screen. Holly posted images of her bloody limb with a bullet still lodged inside. She'd also been injured by shattered glass and shrapnel. Oh, so now we see why the change to the GoFundMe. The couple rushed to their balcony of the unit as they called the cops. Avallone posted a video showing the suspect trying to pound down his door. He's got a shotgun. Why didn't he just shoot through the fucking thing? This is why I think he was trying to kill himself in front of her.
Oh.
Because I saw the back door to that apartment. I'm fairly certain if you had a shotgun, you could take out the front door. Maybe he only had 2 shots.
Well, he has small pockets being like a manlet, so.
Conrad died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds, the police confirmed. Oh, no. Oh, good. That's just her bloody towel. In the clip, Avalone is heard talking to 911 operators as his girlfriend Holly pants in the background with blood pouring from her leg. Her leg wasn't even really bleeding anymore. There was just blood on it. Anyway, where are we? Holly's seen in the clip trying to stop the blood flow with a drenched white towel. Police officers can be heard shouting, show me your fucking hands. Avalone wrote, I'm still trying to process this as I try to use it for clout so you people will actually come watch this stupid shit I say. He shot through my building door, injuring Holly in the process. I recorded the final moments in which we were hiding on the back porch. And, oh, God. Well, good. They blurred out that part at least. That's the bullet in her. After the situation, Holly posted on her thing showing blood, fuck off. Holly is a popular Twitch streamer with 16,000 followers on the platform. Let's talk about that for a minute. She does have 16,000 followers, Jack. That's not how many people are watching her stuff.
Yeah, that's
it's
dope.
Just not. She hadn't actually streamed in months, and the clips that are on her channel have very few views for somebody with 16,000 followers. She's a very popular Twitch. No, she's not. She's barely known, and they're using this for clout. And look, I guess they earned it. She got shot. She should get something out of it, right?
I guess.
So here's what I propose. Take the $900 that had already been raised at the time of the screenshots, and I don't know, buy her a couple of Band-Aids with Disney princesses on it. The bullet of her being shot, I mean, you can literally see it on the skin. Jack, you're on the back porch bleeding, right? And there's a slug just barely on your skin. Do you leave it there?
No.
She did, to make sure it got in the pictures. Look, guys.
Well, yeah.
Look at all these. Look how horribly I was maimed.
I was maimed.
I'm glad they're okay. But this has been a lot of blubber about it. And Hunter, you don't need to move anywhere. If you want to move anywhere, let's see. Hook up with Keemstar to make more money. That seems to be working for Boogie a little bit.
Yeah, Boogie's like kind of retarded, so
get smarter, become more entertaining, stop being a douchebag, get your own personality and instead of trying to steal one from Destiny from a year ago or from years ago. Be entertaining in any manner. You suck.
oof,
The
that's a big ask.
The most entertaining thing you've done is your girlfriend almost getting shot. That says a
And
whole
even
lot
that
about
looked fake.
Yeah. And for fuck's sake, at least get some duct tape for that back door. That's gotta be cold.
Dude, that's gonna come out of your deposit.
Fuck, man. Why you got the holes in that door? I just gotta make sure y'all realize this are not from the shooting. He just in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
And that's what he wants. He wants to move out of the ghetto. So, Hunter, here's the thing. You can only hit this well once, right? You can't come back later and be like, we're not making our rent. We need you to give us money for our rent because we have these horrible nightmares about what happened in the old place. Just fucking man up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Jack. Oh, and stop banging people who watch your shit, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a YouTube channel, don't bang your fans. It never turns out well. Anyway, so Jack.
Monkey.
We've been gone for so long. So much stuff has happened, but we are at the 2-hour mark, and I don't know if you can hear it. Monkey is winding down. I'm gonna wrap this one up for now. And guys, there's a thread over on Twitter. If there's stories you want me to talk about, hit them up there because, like, we're 5 days behind now, Jack.
I think so.
There's a ton of shit that we just haven't even gotten close to getting to. Guess no cuddles from not tonight, Bobo. I'm sorry, dude. I'm out. I'm tapped. I'm tapped. Thank you guys for coming to hanging out with us. I really am sorry. I've missed you guys and glad to be back. No promises that there will be a show tomorrow. It's going to be dependent on how I feel. But oh yeah, Matt Christensen did have a second child, and it's his former fan, now his wife. That's fair. But they're still pretty newly married. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I wish them all the best. I hope he bucks the trend. But it's not been my experience from what I've seen of people online.
Yeah.
But congratulations to them. The baby was healthy, and that's awesome.
Absolutely. Also, Andy Worski had a medical scare recently.
Did he? Is he all right?
Yeah, he was apparently the show was off the air for a few days. I don't follow Kino Casino that closely, but he had a medical scare and he was in the hospital for a few days, and he's recovered. He didn't elaborate on what it was, as far as I know. They might have covered it on their show when he came back, but yeah, I'm glad he's all right, and sorry that happened to you, Andy.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message. I appreciate it, my friend. And thank all of you for the donations. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We know it's December, man. That's when nobody has any money, and we appreciate you guys still helping us out. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos. As always, thank you guys so much for the donations. It really does help quite a bit. And we're glad to see you guys night after night out here. And I'm stalling until I can get the links up. Oh, thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message. Appreciate that, man. You guys are very generous to us. And like Monkey said, we know it is the holidays, and we still have to eat. So it is appreciated, all the support you guys give us. Plus, you come out all the time and watch the show, and that makes us feel good because we're egomaniacs.
BG says, "Don't bang your fans, so you have to stop banging Lady Monkey." You don't understand. Lady Monkey's not a fan of me.
She's a critic.
She's a critic. Anyway, no game stream tonight. Obviously, hopefully, be back doing both kind of streams tomorrow. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody, have yourselves a wonderful day. It's been nice to talk to you again, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I got the COVID. Yes, I did. Chinese government can suck my big old white wiener.